All right, friends. In this video, we got Awaken with JP pitch meeting to save Bud Light. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Let's get to the video.
Bud Light sales are in the toilet, there's no end in sight, and you two marketing executives are failing this company.
We're sorry, sir.
Yep, clearly we can do better.
We need to turn this thing around and convert the boycotters back to customers.
How do you recommend we do that, sir?
Well, the prime demographic of our former customers, now boycotters, are freedom-loving American men, mostly with conservative values. We need marketing campaigns to focus on common ground to win them back. I need ideas.
Of course. Well, as you can see, we've prepared some ideas that I think you're going to love.
She's funny. She's the Babylon Bee girl. What's her name? Let me get her name correctly. I don't know if she has her name on here, but she's hilarious, though. If you've never seen some of her videos, especially the one going to Texas and stuff, just being able to moving from California to Texas. Oh, that was hilarious. Me and Darth Vader, we spent a couple hours going through those videos. Go to check them out. We have them on our channel. Anyway, let's get back to this video. I think that JP is definitely the king of satire. He is. Just give him the crown, give him the trophy because he's just that good.
I'm waiting.
Okay, hear me out. MMA. People love MMA, so we could leverage their love for it in an ad campaign.
That's not bad, but how would that look?
Here's the vision of the commercial. 2 fighters in the octagon. Now these are female fighters.
Oh.
Shows that Bud Light is inclusive to women without crossing the line into the other 70 genders.
Yep, that's actually smart.
One of the women is wearing Bud Light branded shorts and a sports bra, so of course she's winning. Now she is pummeling the other woman, and I mean beating the out of her. And that makes Bud Light look good.
Okay.
I mean, she's really pummeling her. Whew.
Just beating her to an absolute pulp.
And she doesn't just get knocked out, she collapses into a pool of her own blood.
Oh,
That's
wow.
definitely violent.
She suffered too much trauma and is too unconscious to tap out, so her corner throws the towel in, which signifies the Bud Light fighter wins.
And then in the post-fight interview scene, she reveals she's trans.
Man,
That's like a reality. Ain't that the truth? Who is the UFC fighter that is a trans Falcon something? But let's leave that matter alone.
acting as a woman for the last few weeks. Brilliant, right?
Everybody would love her for having the bravery to defy the odds, get in the ring, and brutally beat the other woman almost to death. We think it would make Bud Light look really good.
That's absolutely the worst idea possible.
I don't follow your thinking on that, sir. But okay.
Next.
What if we do a large-scale publicity campaign where we donate 10% of our profits to
Yeah.
underprivileged children to cure them of their genitals?
Oh,
Next.
wow.
Okay, so we obviously have to resonate with the values of our core consumers out there.
That's
Core.
right.
So, to accomplish that objective, imagine this commercial. There's a sensual pillow fight going on.
We're talking slow motion, happy smiles, feathers going everywhere.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's
good.
all menstruating men. Menses.
That's right, white pillows, white sheets, just to accentuate the presence of the masculine menstruation.
Menses.
Oh, boy.
Menses.
Next.
Sir, I think we're missing the whole boat here and making this way harder on ourselves than it needs to be.
How so?
With all the people boycotting us, why don't we just tell them that we identify them as our customers, and then through the magic of however that works, they'll start buying our beer again.
Oh, my goodness. You see, that's kind of what Bud Light is doing, though, in essence. That's kind of what they're doing. Instead of owning to their mistakes, pick a side and stop ostracizing their former customers in the name of helping the minority, right? They're trying to appeal to a new group of drinkers, right? These millennials and also the Gen Z generation. So you want to appeal with them. You don't have to get rid of the people that's been with you in order to do that, right? This was a bad marketing strategy. It had to be one of the worst. But however, instead of them apologizing, learning from their mistakes, instead of them saying this was a bad choice, we're going to fire a number of people, this is how we're going to do things differently, They keep on putting out commercials. I did a video recently of Bud Lights putting out different commercials. It's like they're trying to clean up their mess, but they're not really learning. They're not really making a decision. They're not really choosing a crowd. And that's kind of the problem here. They're not pleasing. They're trying to please both sides. They end up pleasing no one kind of thing. And I think sad to watch. I don't feel sorry for them, to be honest. I feel sorry for the people working there, but I think it's time to go get another job. If you work for Bud Light, if you're a truck driver, look for somewhere else to work. But yeah, I agree with that.
That's actually a really good idea.
I think we need something a little more based in reality.
Got it. Why don't we go all in and sponsor a Pride event?
Love it.
How would that do anything other than drive even more customers away?
Well, people have been boycotting us, presumably because they're angry that we haven't been taking more of a pro-trans stance.
That's not
And
what
sponsoring a Pride event would cast away any doubt about where we stand on the issue.
they're boycotting us because we're
course you
shoving
did.
this stuff down their throats in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I guess I wasn't really reading between the lines on that. Like, you sure about that?
That's kind of how they act. They act like they don't know what's going on. They act like they have no idea. Yeah, we never thought, we just wanted to sell beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we get in this? How do you think you got in there? you became political. You were supposed to be a business and stay quiet when it comes to all that political stuff.
Positive.
So you're saying that sponsoring a Pride event would make things worse? I'm not following.
Yes,
Wait, so we shouldn't sponsor a Pride event?
definitely not.
Okay. Well, we already did.
Yes, they did. Again, Bud Light has been sponsoring these events for a long time. Target, North Face, all these companies are going rogue, right? They've been sponsoring DEI, and ESG and LGBTQIA+, and all these acronyms and stuff like that. But here's the thing. They've been doing it for a while. But why are things different now? Why is there such a backlash today? Because people are tired of it. This stuff has become so controversial, it's become political, and it's become somewhat religious too. So people are picking side. So this is a bad time for companies to try and toe the line. Like back then, you were doing your trans gay stuff and children were not involved. It wasn't on the mainstream. It wasn't the topic of the day. Nobody cared. We could care less what you do. I can't even go through a week video without talking about this because it's such a hot topic today, sensitive indeed, but must be talked about. This is why Bud Light is in trouble. It's because the tension has risen so much and people are speaking up. People are tired of what is called Pride Month today, and LGBT. It's no longer about tolerance and acceptance. Let me marry who I want to marry. Leave me alone kind of lifestyle. This is not what it is today. It's become a whole nother beast. It's become something different. It has morphed into a movement that is anti-family, anti-God, anti-children, anti-country, anti-everything. And I have to say this. This is why I think Uganda, Kenya, and some of these African nations, that's why they are so adamant in making sure laws are not being passed to make this legal in their country. Because they're looking at us and they say, this is what's going on over there. This is the trajectory. This is the trajectory of allowing this stuff. They say, well, no, we're not allowing it. And now they're pushing back. They became somewhat, I will say, I disagree with transphobic, right? They go to the other extreme. You can't be mad at them when we are setting examples over here. And here is the results. Politicians are making laws. Ron DeSantis had to do this, and Disney is warring. They're saying they're gonna put this stuff in the movies instead. But when they go sell this stuff over to China and there's different areas, they know how to remove those clips, right? They know how to remove those scenes from there because I'm saying those country can't. They don't put up with that mess. But they're doing it to our children, right? They're sexualizing our children. They're saying we queer, we here, we coming for your children here in this country. So when people get mad, and Bud Light find itself caught up in the midst of that, sorry, man, you being choked.
What?
It was a big one, too.
Yeah, over the weekend, we sponsored a massive Pride event in Toronto. We had quite the presence there.
Yes,
Why
you
would
did.
you do that? This makes this terrible situation even worse.
Sir, I think you're overreacting. This wasn't just any Pride event. At this one, there were adults parading naked in front of children.
Yeah.
That's the worst. scenario.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. In fact, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you see how it.
Bud Light wants you to buy their beer, drink their beer, which I don't drink beer. I could care less. I could do without. But they want you to drink that whatever watered down beer, as most people refers to it. And while they're doing their LGBTQIA plus stuff that is part of that definitely is leading toward children, they want you to accept what they're doing and buy their substance, support them anyway, no matter what. That's what they want. That's why they will not apologize. They will not say, I'm sorry. They will not say, I've learned from my mistake. They will not say, I need to do things better. No, 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 no. You need to fall in line with me. You need to bow the knees to Baal. You need to worship. You need to do this. Why? Because they ain't trying to change. Why? Because there's a lot of money behind this. It's a top-heavy system. Okay, ESG, DEI. There is money behind the movement. They're worrying about their score, their ESG score. They want to make sure that the moneyed men, the investors, and they want to make sure that the shares, their buyers, right? Vanguard and BlackRocks and these guys, that they're in good relations with them because these people support the nonsense. So that's why Bud Light cannot pick a side. Okay, to pick the patriots, to pick the Americans, to respect conservative, to go with our value, it has to deny all the moneyed men. So they are stuck between a rock and a hard place.
It boosted our sales over the weekend. Oh no, they did go down.
Yeah, we were
Consistently.
looking at the graph behind the board, and it's always hard to tell which way
Yeah,
these things
flip
go.
it.
But yeah, they went down.
Yes.
It will continue to go
I
down.
believe sponsoring a Pride event didn't work.
They were hoping this boycott would stop sooner than what they are experiencing, but unfortunately, this one, they mean business. This is the worst boycott ever. The name Bud Light has become a verb, a byword. You can look at it on an Urban Dictionary, and I did a video about that where, yeah, you can Bud Light the company. Bud Lighting a company is doing something that the consumers are very much upset about, and they boycott the company so much where they bring it down to its knees. So Bud Light is swallowing their words here and hopefully learning from their mistakes. But it doesn't seem like they're learning. It seems like they're more like making excuses. But again, I don't feel sorry for them. I do not feel sorry. I think they're getting what they deserve.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. Let me look at these numbers again.
Guys, I'm about to lose my patience. The company is dying. There's no end in sight unless we turn this around. We need good ideas that will actually resonate with our customers. Just think of what helped us become America's best-selling beer in the first place.
Yep.
Horses, mountains, cowboys, that kind of thing.
All right, picture this. Getting back to our
But it's hard to clean it up now, though. People ain't gonna change their perspective. They already know who you're gonna have to start with a whole new name, get rid of the Bud Light name. You're gonna have to start a whole new system. Literally, the Bud Light name has been defamed. It is no longer considered something that is decent, that is American. It never was in the first place because it's not even an American company. But nevertheless, it's okay to slap the American flag on there and try to pretend that you are. But fine, we can work past that. The name is so tarnished that their best way to fix this, to get rid of the name, start a whole new company with a whole new system, with a whole new set of values, and stay away from politics. And they might make it to the top. But now that's a tough one. That means you have to go down to the ground. You have to lose everything that you've ever built. You have to start from scratch. You have to scratch the name of the books. The history of Bud Light is gone. Okay, put it in the past and then start fresh and start with new perspective, new values, appeal to the people from a different, that's the only way. But by the time they do that, all the companies are going to be so up there. Bud Light is number 14 now. It used to be number 1. Wow. In a matter of like three months, gone, losing all of this money, over 20 something, $7 billion. Their market share has completely dropped. That is the worst. Like, these conservatives are ridiculous. These conservatives mean business. I'm like, yo, don't piss them off.
American roots. Let's say it's a Western scene, and we got a couple cowboys.
Okay.
they're camping together
Oh, God.
at the base of a mountain.
I don't think this will do it.
Oh no, it's not what you think.
Thank God. I'm listening.
And while camping, they savagely fornicate with each other.
Oh my goodness. That's the thing, but like, just don't get it. Bad idea.
And even though their love is as strong for each other as they are hard for each other, they know that society will never accept them.
So, they take the edge off with a Bud Light.
That's a little bit in the opposite direction of where we want to go.
We'll get this idea, sir. You know how we used to run those Real Men of Genius ads?
Real man
those
of
were super
genius.
successful.
Right. So we probably don't want to do that again. But what if we reboot them with the
That
more
was what
equitable
worked. That was what worked. Oh my Lord, these people.
version?
Real men's toxic masculinity.
In
Oh,
hindsight,
gosh.
we made a mockery of women with Mrs. Dylan Mulvaney, and that's where we went wrong. So this time, we need to make a mockery of men.
Showing in a non-comedic fashion all the ways that the toxicity of men, our primary demographic, negatively affects society. I think that'll win back customers.
Quit protecting and providing for your family, you racist. Testosterone is just as bad for you as alcohol is. You know, that kind of thing.
I'll have to pass on this one. This is hopeless.
I don't think hope is lost, sir, because based on our market research, there's a huge demographic of people out there that doesn't drink our beer, but if we could convince them to, that would be huge revenue for us.
Who's this demographic?
Pregnant birthing persons.
I like it.
Pregnant birding persons. Oh my Lord, these names are driving me crazy.
Completely untapped demographic. I can't believe you didn't
They
tell me
can't
about
just be
this
women
idea.
anymore,
There's
huh?
a lot of it.
It's so good.
Yeah, just imagine an all-out campaign targeting them. I think we could become the go-to beer for pregnant birthing persons.
Sir, should we start plotting out the ad scenarios and PR campaign?
Sure. Go right ahead.
I know who would be good to play a pregnant birthing person.
Oh no.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh no. Give me a break. I can't. He can't get pregnant. Oh gosh, but today's world. Today's world. It's a whole different perspective, okay?
Perfect for the role. Let's see if they is available.
I'll call they right now.
It's not even Bud Light. That is a different beer. Great job. Oh my Lord. This was amazing. JP got jokes, man. This was great. I think this was powerful. Very intentional, well written, well done. Bud Light, it keeps putting out more bad businesses. They keep making commercials that are not relating with the people. Now they're trying to do something patriotic with the horse, with Americans drinking beer and young children running around in the rain, yada yada. Yeah, somewhat. They try to be funny too, and men having a long day of work, sitting. Oh, now they, this bud is for you, kind of thing. But it's like, you're still ignoring the problem, right? You're still neglecting kind of what the people are concerned about. You still haven't made a formal apology. You really haven't picked a side. And that's the problem here. That's the real problem. It's not so much whether or not people want to be upset. It's the fact that you don't care about the fact that you've hurt them. You don't care that you've picked the LGBT community. You put a trans individual on a bottle, marketing to them. It was a marketing strategy. Now call it what you want. It was just one bottle. It doesn't even matter. The damage is already done. So what you can do now is learn from it and figure out a way to do things differently. But again, it's sad because a lot of people work for the company are losing their money and so on, and that's not okay, but that's not their fault. They should be mad at Bud Light for making these horrific, horrible decisions, but the people are gonna stand for what they believe, okay? It's just what it is, man. And let me give you a verse. There's a number of passages I can think about right now, looking at a number of them. Better is righteous than the great revenue and injustice. Yeah. Yeah, is the way they go about getting the money. Yeah, there's a level of dishonesty and that they went about. And let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs 13. Proverbs is a good chapter when you're talking about business. There's a lot of counsel for business and stuff like that. And I think if Bud Light will take heed a little bit, they might learn something. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. Let me see if I can give you another version. Another version might help you a little bit better with understanding and clarity. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gather little by little will increase it. I love that. So this could be people who are hasty in getting money, right? A company who is moved by this DEI concept, right? What's behind that is, all right, here's the thing. They're thinking, and I've done a little bit of business. I've studied somewhat business. I even had a license for selling life insurance and all that. So I had to study a number of things and how money is to be diversified and wealth and everything, Rule 72 and all that stuff. But they are thinking that this generation is passing away, right? Our generation, the millennial generation, are getting older, and the baby boomers are pretty much all dead now. The Gen X generation, okay, which is the one before me, they're passing off the scene, right? So since they're passing off the scene, what could we do with the wealth that is going to be given to their children? Is the largest transference of wealth in human history. So all these Gen Z and millennials are going to inherit the wealth of their parents. Got it. And they're thinking, with the backing of these market share, Vanguard and BlackRock and all these guys, there's a lot of money behind that. And the LGBT, trans community and all that stuff, these values are the things that people are talking about all day, all night. And the youth are very much interested in it. And they're going to have all the money. Let's appeal to them early. Well, it was a bad decision because you didn't have to get rid of the ones you had to do that. You could have appealed to them while you're still keeping the people that you have. All you had to talk about is American values. Talk about what unite Americans. Talk about the things that we care about, whether you're gay, straight, whether you are Christian or not. There are some things that we have in common. You should have focused on these things and get us to be emotionally charged so that we can keep buying your beer. Not me, but I'm just speaking for the people, right? Wealth gained hastily will dwindle. So they were too hasty in gaining money, and now they're losing money. But if they had made their move, just as they done in the past, little by little, appealing to the people, appealing to their emotion, appealing to their pocketbooks, like you've done, it would work out. It would have been just fine. But unfortunately, that's not what they did. And they're paying a heavy price. But again, like I've said earlier, I do not feel sorry for these companies. Because I think selling alcohol is not a good thing. I don't think it is. Because it's hurting a lot of families, a lot of people. I mean, car accidents. And I mean, we can go on. I used to work at the hospital. I see what alcohol has done to people. I would say that's a bad thing. But again, if people want to drink, they can drink. Jesus has to change the heart. You know, before that, I could talk about that. I could talk about drug. I could talk about all these different things that people do that I don't think it's a good thing. But when companies bypass all of these realities and throw their customers in, like, you know, in a trash can and picked up, I mean, like they say, you don't throw away your old path for new ones, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's working, why change it, kind of thing. But again, the voice of the customer is what matters here. But again, Bud Light still hasn't apologized. They still haven't learned. They still haven't said, you know what, we were wrong. No. They're making excuses. And that's their problem. And that's their loss. I would say boycott them to the ground. That's my thought. To the ground. And let every company be warned. If you're going to go in this direction, be aware. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Thank you so much for listening. Link in the description below without my commentary. Have a good one. Bye.